Howdy everyone, welcome back to Wobble Enjoy Sports. If you're new around here, hope I can get you to consider to like the content and subscribe to the channel. But if you're a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. Let's get stuck into round number 19. What could be the last round of Origin affected rugby league. It's a full round, but there still might be a couple of restings here and there until we go warp speed into the finals next week. I can't believe where has all the time friggin' gone. Round 19 starts on Friday night from Shark Park. The Dolphins are away to Cronulla. The Sharkies come into the game as $1.61 favourites. The Dolphins, they are $2.31. Immediately, that is great value on the Dolphins. There's been two matches between these two clubs in previous times, and the Dolphins are undefeated against the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks. They also won their first ever game in New South Wales against the Sharks, which occurred last year. If you remember, that was the very famous try that Hammer scored from about 90 metres out, and he went the length of the field. So the Sharkies in their first two contests have proven, they got a bit of trouble against the Redcliffe Dolphins. But we'll go into the team list news now. And Talakai and Jesse Ramian, they are the centres, and the rest of the back line is as per program. The forward pack is also per the program, with Wilton and Nicola being the second rowers. The interchange is Atkinson, Colquhoun, Rudolph and Braden Hamlin-Uele. Shifting over to the Dolphins now, and the Hammer has been named at fullback. I don't think he will play. A lot of Origin stars have backed up this year. I think Hammer has backed up in both of those contests, I think. So I'm not anticipating that he plays this game, but he has been named. Azarko, Max Feengai, Farnworth, Avarillo, Sean O'Sullivan. He is in at 5/8 because Cody Nikorima will be out for at least a month with a hamstring injury. And then Isaiah Katoa in at halfback. The forward pack, Francis Molo, Marshall King, Mark Nichols. The back row is Finafuiaki, Keeley and Kurt Donahue. That is the danger man for the Sharkies. That is, I know you've got Katoa, but that's the X factor in the forward pack for the Dolphins this Friday night. I think he could turn it for the Dolphins. We've got Orblix, Talha, Lemuelu, Raystone and Josh Kerr. Now, if Hammer does not back up from Origin and play on Friday night, Trey Fuller has been named in the reserves here for the Dolphins. However, the Sharks, they got to go now. That they have had a fortnight's rest. They're playing in front of their fans. The Dolphins are not full strength, albeit they've got some great superstars that are still in this pack, in this team. The Sharks got to win. This is a must-win game for the Sharks. Otherwise, it is alert. It is red alert big time if they lose this one. So I'm going to back the Sharks here because they should be more desperate than the Dolphins this Friday night. Moving into the Saturday games, and match number 1 emanates from Newcastle. The Knights host the Melbourne Storm. Newcastle, they are $4. The Storm, they are $1.25. Fletcher Hunt is at fullback for the Newcastle Knights because Kalen Ponga's season is done, unfortunately. So smooth recovery to Kalen Ponga. The rest of the back line is pretty much unchanged, with Hastings and Cogger partnering each other in the halves. The forward pack is Saifidi, Leo Thompson and Phoenix Crossland moves back to the hooker position. Okay. I did like him at lock as well. Dylan Lucas, Kai Pearce-Paul and Frizzell, that's the back row. And the interchange is Brayley, Croker, McEwen and Jones. The Melbourne Storm lineup, so Pappenhausen, he comes back after having last week off. He's the fullback. Anderson, Chan, Meaney, Tuamalatu Brown, who had a very nice debut last weekend, and Wishart and Hughes are the halves. The forward pack, Kamikamitha, Josh King, and Nelson has been named to start, didn't last weekend. And the interchange is Pezzett, Utoikamanu, Va'alepu, and Lasati. Looking at the reserves now, you've got James Schiller, Tyson Gamble for the Newcastle Knights, and then for the Melbourne Storm, you got all the Origin superstars basically that have been named on the reserves here. Can't go past Melbourne. I'm going to say they win this game 13 plus. The second game on Super Saturday is from Cogra. The Dragons host the Sydney Roosters. $2.58 are the Dragons, the home side. $1.51 are the Sydney Roosters. Valentine Holmes has been named to back up from Origin, but we'll watch this space. And we've also still got Sione Finau. That's also been named on the wing. The forward pack is Gula and Clemmer. The rest of the starting 1 to 13 is, as you can imagine, the interchange is Little, Stewart, Lowry and Molo. Lachlan Elias has also been named on the reserves. For the Sydney Roosters here, Hugo Savala and Sam Walker are partnering each other. So fantastic to see that Sam Walker finally returns after doing his ACL and then I think breaking a couple of fingers or just the one finger, pretty much just as he was right to return from injury. The forward pack is White and Collins. We'll see if he backs up. Same too with Angus Crichton, Fiketti and Victor Radley has also been named. Zach Docker-Clay, Steep, Butcher and Spencer Lenu as well. So poor bugger Sandon Smith has been dropped down into the reserves. I think this is a huge danger game here for the Sydney Roosters. But then again, they're coming off a shock upset to, of all teams, with due respect to the Tigers, the West Tigers. That might just perk them up for this game. It still could be. It still is a danger game for the Sydney Roosters because the Dragons took the Canberra Raiders to the limit last weekend in a cracking game of footy. But I'm going to go the Sydney Roosters in this game 1 to 12 due to the return of Sam Walker and the fact that the Roosters got that shock loss off of their shoulders, off of their minds, and I think they will be a little bit more zoned in to the contest this Saturday. The main event on Super Saturday is from Queensland Country Bank Stadium. North Queensland Cowboys host the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, and it is the Cowboys who are sitting at $2.78. The Bulldogs, they are $1.45 for the North Queensland Cowboys. Jackson Purdue remains. Jake Clifford and Tom Dearden have been named in the halves. I don't know if Tom Dearden will back up. I really doubt that he will, but hopefully he does. Now, what's interesting about this is that Tom Duffy played half back last weekend. This weekend, it's been named that Tom Dearden would be half. Tom Duffy has completely fallen off. He's not even named in the reserves here, has Tom Duffy. Ryan Rivette from the Mackay Cutters, who has had a nice season for them, has been named at 18th player. So he has overtaken Tom Duffy for this week at the very least. So if Tom Dearden does not back up, you'd imagine that Ryan Rivette is going to make his NRL debut. Well, not NRL debut, his Cowboys debut, because Mr. Ryan Rivette played for the Newcastle Knights one time a couple of years ago. Going into the rest of the team list now, McLean, Robson and Neem. We've got Cotter, Nene and Harrison Edwards as the back row. Lawton, McKaylee, O'Donnell and Cohen Hess. Sam McIntyre, John Bateman are out due to injury. You've got Mr. Temple Kalepo. Murray Taulagi also has been named on the reserves. Really liked Temple Kalepo's debut last weekend. And as a pure hooker, Carl Lawton showed that he can play a bit of second row last season and the year before that. So for me personally, this is where I would change and go against the grain of Todd Payton's selection. I would definitely have Temple Kalepo win, but then again, Kalepo did come off with a HIA last weekend, didn't he? Going into the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs here, again, a couple of Origin stars, but one of them definitely will play. Jacob Carraz should 100% play. He has been named. Stephen Crichton has been named. Watch this space, potentially. Anari Tawala has also been named as the other winger as well. Marcelo Montoya is out for the next 6 to 8 weeks due to neck surgery. So smooth recovery, swift recovery to Mr. Montoya. The forward pack here is basically as per the program, with Reed Marnie coming up and having a quick squeeze before he comes up to the Cowboys in 2026 on a 3-year deal. The interchange, Kurt Mann, Harry Hayes, Josh Curran and Lockie Galvin has been named in jersey number 17. Also got Jamin Salmon, Saluka Fafita, Curtis Morin named in there as well for the Bulldogs. It's going to be a tough trip for them. Cowboys are going to win 1 to 12. Go Cowboys. On the Sunday, we have a game emanating from Go Media Stadium, the Warriors versus the Tigers. The Warriors are coming into the game as favourites, $1.41. The Tigers are $2.93. This could be the sneaky game of the round. I like the matchup on paper between these two sides. And if you remember, it was the Tigers who gave up, the only team still to give up a game to the Warriors. They were also the first team to take on the Warriors at Go Media Stadium. There's a lot of respect, actually, from the New Zealand faithful towards the West Tigers these days. It's always a bit of not a special occasion, but there's something different about a Warriors-Tigers game these days, especially when it happens out in New Zealand. And these two sides met earlier on this year. Can you believe that those two sides met earlier on this year where Lika Halasima scored that match-winning try and they met in that damp affair out there at Campbelltown Stadium? That happened this year. That felt like ages ago. Going into the team lineup now, so Tane Tuapiki returns to first grade. He is the fullback. So too does Dallin Watene-Zelezniak and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. That is the back three. The centre pairing is Pompey and Berry. Harris Tavita and Tanner Boyd are the halves pairing. Tanner Boyd making his Warriors debut, and by all reports, I haven't seen it, but Tanner Boyd has apparently absolutely killed it in 2025 in New South Wales Cup. The forward pack is somewhat per the program. Halasima, Niokore, Aaron Clark, the back row. Kirk Capewell, he's been named in the reserves, but we'll see what happens. The interchanges, Tamare Martin, Laban, Vamalga, and Stowers Smith, with Bunty Afoa and Samuel Healy also named on the reserves. The West Tigers line up now. So we've got Sunia Taruva at fullback, who did very nicely. We've got Staines and Skelton, Adam Duihi and Toa. Jerome Luai and Latu Fainu have been named as the halves pairing. My goodness gracious, Latu Fainu. Please, man, please be the saviour for that West Tigers club. You are an absolute sensation, and they deserve someone like you with the calibre of talent that you got in your repertoire, 100%. The forward pack is May, Coruscant and Pole, Fainu, Sukar and Twal. Tristan Hope, Seifarth, Fainu and Jack Bird have been named. Brent Naden, the Lalali'i brothers, and Heath Mason has also been named on the reserves. I think this could be a cracking game. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Tanner Boyd here. Hopefully he can bring that form up to first grade. He does. On his day, Tanner Boyd has one of the best kicking games in the NRL, in my opinion anyway. I think he, on his day, has a great kicking game. There's still some fantastic pieces there for the Warriors, but this is going to be a cracking game. I'm going to go the New Zealand Warriors to win this game 1-12. The second game on Sunday is from CommBank. It is the Battle of the West. The Parramatta Eels take on the Panthers. Parramatta, they are $3.42. The Panthers are $1.32. Going into the team list for the Eels now, Lomax has been named to back up. Jordan Samrani, Sean Russell, Josh Adokar is the back line, with Dylan Brown and Dean Hawkins partnering each other in the halves. Jack Williams, Lussick, Polo, Geimer, Kautoga and Hopgood. Interchange, Talon De Silva makes his Parramatta Eels debut off the bench. Dylan Walker, Matt Dury and Sam Tuavaiti has been named on the interchange as well. Joash Papali has also been named on the reserves. Riley Smith has been suspended for the one game, I believe, for Parramatta. For the Penrith Panthers here, Dane Laurie is at fullback, Jenkins and Alamotti on the stings, Tungo and McLean in the centres, and Talangi and Brad Schneider in the halves. Forward pack is, Matt Eisenhuth is at lock, Garner and Papali'i are in the second row, and Smith, Liotta and Kenny in the front. The interchange, Jack Cole has been named for first grade, Liam Henry, Patia and Mav Gaia, and then you've got the Origin superstars who have all been named in the reserves. We'll see what happens there, obviously. This is a very hard game to tip right here and now on a Wednesday afternoon, because we just don't know if any will back up from Origin. In particularly, when you look at the Panthers team lineup, they really can't afford to rest anybody here. Penrith Panthers, though, they're still in the battle to stay in that 8 spot and even fight for a top 4 berth as well, which would be extraordinary. The Panthers did pip the Parramatta Eels in a fantastic game earlier on this season. They ran away with it in the end in the final 10 minutes. I think if teams stay like this, I still think Panthers win 1-12. If the Origin stars, or at least a couple of the Origin stars, come in, I think Panthers win this 13+. So in any event, Penrith. And finally, to wrap up round 19 from Seabus Super Stadium, the Gold Coast Titans host the Brisbane Broncos. The Titans are $3.63. The Broncos, they are $1.29. There are mass changes for both of these sides. Brimson is at fullback. De Groot and Sami are on the Stings. Kelly and Fafita are the centres. Jaden Campbell returns to play halfback with Kieran Foran in at 5'8". Fodawaka, Campbell-Gillard and Verrills have been named in the front row, with Randall, Fermor and Fa'asul Mala'awi in the back row, and the interchange Alec Wenke, Jolliffe, Khaleesi Haas and David Fafita has been named for the first time for what I feel like since round number 7 this season. And Cam Pereira, that's a strange one. You've got De Groot playing on the wing, but Cam Pereira is named on the reserves. And in other breaking news for the Gold Coast Titans, it's pretty much all but confirmed that Des Hasler is retiring from coaching at the end of the year. What a shame that that couldn't work out for the Titans and Des Hasler. That's such a shame. And Des Hasler, yeah, it's a bit of a blip on his radar, but Des Hasler still goes down as one of the more important coaches of the new millennium, at the very least as well. He is one of the more important coaches of my lifetime. So all the best. Even though it's not over yet, he's still got a couple months to go, but all the best in retirement to Des Hasler. Going into the Brisbane Broncos now, we've got Reece Walsh named, Karapani, Staggs, Guillemot Subasaki. Rest of the backline, Dean Mariner. The forward pack, Willison and Haas have been named to partner each other in the front, with Ben Hunt returning from injury to play hooker. The back row is Piakura, Ricky and Carrigan, and the interchange reads Walters, Hetherington, Gajewski and Tyson Smoothie. Corey Pakes, Selwyn Cobbo, Deloise Hoyter, Jesse Arthurs has been named on the reserves here. I feel like this could be a close encounter. These two sides met earlier on this season, and the Broncos absolutely bopped them in the first half. So the Titans will be looking to rectify that start to the game. They could be buoyed by this news of Des Hasler, or they could be distracted by the news. In any event, I'm going to tip the Broncos. Am I going to be surprised if the Titans get up and win this one? No, but the Broncos, they're not playing the best, but they're getting the wins, and I think that's now 5 wins in a row now after coming back against the Bulldogs. And the hooves of doom are coming. Thank you everybody for your continuing support. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you. Take care. Adios.